congratulations on the brand new single Fire Escape. We've been playing it on our show and people have absolutely fallen in love with it, so congratulations.
Stop it. Thank you. Cool, that's good to hear.
Now, mate, tell us a little bit about Dip, because you guys formed at the start of last year and then we all went into lockdown. So what was the first 12 months of the band like?
It was like they'd had about 2 jams. It was like a 3-piece. And I came in to like audition as a vocalist, and I think it was probably the second jam we all just together really just locked in, and we found this kind of strange place that just felt really good and felt really like liberated from genre, but was just quite like dark and cathartic.
Yeah.
And that was like, I guess that would have been like March, like, and then like lockdown happened probably like, I don't know, a couple jams in, and we'd written a couple of songs, and then there was like Zach and I, who's the guitarist, were walking one day and came up with this chant that was like, bash your head against a brick wall, and we're like, we should bring this to the band. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this would be a sweet song. And so we go to the band. We got to say this for the song, and I just start chanting that, and then like Chris and Alistair just start playing this like ridiculous riff under it, and we're like, let's just chant this for 2 minutes, call it a song, and like release it. And we're playing in this like warehouse, like where the guitarist lives, and there's a producer that lived there at the time, and like he like recorded it for us for free, and then like released it, and it was like, that was like, for me, like making that song was like a statement that I was like, cool, like we're making, like, this was during lockdown, obviously, so super like dark times, and it was very like expressive of what we're all feeling through that, but it was like a cool statement of like, sweet, we're not making, we're not trying to make like pop songs or anything, or songs in general. We're just fucking expressing and like making whatever statement feels good, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I was going to say, how did you first get involved with the band? You said that you went in and jammed with them. Did you already know the band, or did you answer an ad online or something?
Oh, so, I knew the guitarist. We had worked together in a cafe, and that was like, I was kind of like in another band that was just ending, and was kind of like, trying to like find something. So the guitarist was hit up by the drummer and bassist. Chris and Alistair were in a band called St. John's, and they were just looking for someone else to jam with, basically. And like, actually, we all met through coffee. Funnily enough, when I really think about it, like I worked with the guitarist at the cafe, and then they all met Chris and Zach met through roasting coffee together, and we'd all like, it kind of in our individual as individuals had all talked with each other at some point or other about jamming together and making a band, and it's kind of finally happened.
Awesome. So you got that first single down that you mentioned before, and then what happened for the rest of the year? Because it would have been really tough for you guys to have got together and worked together again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so there was like a big space, obviously, where we didn't jam because of the whole lockdown restrictions. Those early ones were pretty intense, so we just didn't jam all together. But fortunately, what had happened was, like, in the earlier days, like in the first couple jams, they had just put a phone in the room and hit record when they were playing, and it was instrumental. So I was living in like just a 1-bedroom apartment at the time, and I had like a mic set up in my bathroom and just started like recording vocals over those. And we're still able to kind of bounce ideas between each other.
Yeah.
And that was how, the second single was a song called Joanne, and that's how that one happened. Like, I recorded that one in my bathroom, the vocals, and then they recorded the rest like individually, going one by one to this warehouse where the producer was living.
Awesome. Now, the latest
Yeah.
the latest single, Fire Escape, that's what we're playing at the moment. I believe that was recorded in a cabin in the Hunter Valley. Tell us a little bit about Fire Escape as a track, and also how you came to record in the Hunter Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just, it was a money saving scheme, really. So like, there's a producer that we absolutely love, George, who works Little Wing Sound, and he had recorded Chris and Alistair's last band, St. Joan, and yeah, we love this guy, but it was kind of like we didn't want to spend all the money of the studio time as well, and our drummer Alistair like had connections through a family friend or something to their place up in the Hunter Valley. That was just this beautiful cabin type thing, and it was just kind of big open lounge kitchen area where we took the producer and then another guy called Matt Jones, who just like wanted to be a part of it because he kind of liked the idea and the sound. And we went in there and did a live take of about what was it? I think we did about 10 songs, just like live all the way through. And then we chose 5 that sounded similar, and kept the drum and bass takes of those because they were just like sweet from the get-go, and then just started layering guitars and vocals over it like when we got back to Sydney in the studio.
Awesome. So what is Fire Escape actually about? Was there something in mind when you guys sat down to write that track?
So, I mean, it started off as just a riff idea, and it was like, you know Daria, the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just like fiddling around, and then like someone, I think it was Chris, was like, that sounds Daria as fuck. And I was like, God, that's the best compliment. All right. So okay, it's like one riff. And I'm like, oh, this is something. And and from there, yeah, we have a very like collaborative thing when we write. Like it's completely a 4-way thing. Like everyone's just pushing and pulling, and it's like we're just following the enthusiasm of the room, basically. And then once it was kind of musically made, the lyrics then came from an old poem I had, and it was the poem was like this kind of like super, I guess it's a negative, like a melancholic thought of like my partner at the time, like looking whenever like anything got really tender and like you felt like you were really in love. It was like I had this feeling of like this is gonna end one day, you know, like it's always gonna end one day. We're gonna like one of us is gonna have to bury each other, you know, like bury the other one. That's supposed to be the best case scenario, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so it's like that thought of like, I wish the world would explode so we could all die together. It's like that's actually the best case scenario in a really grim way.
Yeah, definitely.
And it felt like I was feeling very like end timesy in general at the time because of the whole pandemic thing, and it just felt like that like relationship kind of idea was like exploding in like a big worldwide way as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Makes perfect sense. And you mentioned before that you recorded about 10 tracks when you were in the Hunter Valley. Have you guys planning for an EP or an album at some stage this year?
Yeah, totally. So we do want to finish off the rest of those tracks. Again, it was like the whole cabin thing. It was a money thing. Okay, we don't have much money, so we're going to choose 5 of those and do those now, and then do the others later. So yeah, those other 5 tracks. We'll probably even add a couple more to them and make it into another EP. And it's been really good because actually when we first recorded, like when we first went to Hunter Valley, I feel like we hadn't played a live show yet at all. Like we'd released 2 singles and we still hadn't, because just because of how intense those early restrictions were, we still hadn't played a live show yet. And so like, we also kind of like chose the simplest songs to run with on the first EP because it was like, those are the ones that felt the most written. So those other 5 songs are a bit more kind of proggy and like a bit more ambitious, and so it's going to be really cool to finish those off and create something new.
Awesome, mate. Well, we cannot wait to hear what you guys have got planned for the rest of this year, but for now I think it's time to play Fire Escape once again on our show. So is there anything you would like to say to our listeners before they take another listen to Fire Escape?
love each other, relentlessly, and yourself. No negative self-talk today, all right? Make that your goal, everybody.
Awesome. Well, Dill, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we cannot wait to see you guys play in Melbourne at some stage.
Oh, absolutely. We can't wait as well.
All right, mate. I'll let you go. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, you too.
All right. See ya. Bye.